So I went to the exhibition in Mombasa. I've set up my place using the script that I've done in Nairobi. Yeah. Now I'm here. Oh, too bad. Yeah. The bees came to the the bees
to the stand.
To the stand. Exhibition over.
Oh no.
So my man gave me transport. I came to the city.
Yeah.
I came with a. Do you know the Oga bag? You know the Oga bag? The first job he referred me was to be a waiter at Java restaurant.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Asked me to do an email.
Okay.
I did an email to him.
Yeah.
I'm sending him my CV. That's the only CV I've written in my life, by the way.
So Victor, really, if there's someone I've always been looking forward to telling a story about,
yes,
is you, because you really embody people who have really gone through the full cycle of life or still going through the full cycle.
Okay.
And it's something that actually Africans, not necessarily here in Kenya, but actually across Africa,
yes,
kind of have the same mentality of hustler mentality.
Yes.
So really I had to bring you, man, and you had to come and tell people how you've just gone through life. So first thing that I want to ask you is, how did you just end up in Nairobi, man?
In Nairobi, my first time to come to Nairobi was, I had a dream of, I used to hustle in Eldoret,
yes,
for many years.
Yeah.
And then now I realized my scope of hustling had become, I used to run a PlayStation.
Oh, really?
In Eldoret. I used to have a PlayStation at the Zion Mall.
Okay.
I used to have a shop.
So basically this is where people like youngsters would come in and play, and then they pay you something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but one of the things that I had as a struggle was gambling.
Okay.
Well, I was a serious gambler. I used to sport pesa.
Yeah.
Sport pesa had come to Africa, so I used to spend most of the income I get into gambling. But now I really wanted to come to Nairobi, but I didn't know how to come to Nairobi. So luckily I have an uncle who is in the city, who was doing business. So I asked him, can I be your personal assistant?
Interesting.
Can I be your personal assistant?
Yeah.
So I kept him writing messages. So the first job he referred me was to be a waiter at Java restaurant.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Asked me to do an email.
Okay.
I did an email to him.
Yeah.
I'm sending him my CV. That's the only CV I've written in my life, by the way. I wrote a CV of myself, and then I gave it to him.
Hey.
So my man gave me transport. I gave to the city.
Yeah.
And I normally tell myself, I came with a. Do you know the Oga bag? You know the Oga bag?
How is it? How's that bag? Is this?
There's a gunia bag.
The one that you normally see people when people bring goods from China or something. It's kind of Manila canvas bag. Yeah. Okay.
So I came with that in Nairobi. So my uncle, I slept somewhere in Ngong, but in the morning I was dropped at the 7th Memorial Park.
Yeah.
The former U.S. embassy that was bombed, the 1998 bomb blast.
Yeah.
So there you pay. I think you pay 30 shillings to sit down. So I paid 30 shillings to wait for the person to pick me. Okay. So my cousin picked me and took me to Makadara. That's where my hustling started. When I arrived and stayed around in Makadara. So
did you have, when you're coming from Eldoret, which is one of the cities famous for running in Kenya, when you're coming to Nairobi, the capital city, did you have a plan of what you're going to do, or you're just landing here to try life?
I'd given myself a 2 weeks ultimatum. If I don't make it to the city, I'm leaving back home. So luckily, before the 2 weeks elapsed, my aunt used to be the company secretary pipeline.
Correct.
So he still had networks there. So he talked to his friend. He gave us a casual job. We used to do admin department at Kenya Pipeline. Yeah. So our salary then was 527. As a casual labor in Nairobi, in Kenya, you're paid 527 by government. So we used to get 527 as our revenue.
So your first hustle in Nairobi was in Kenya Pipeline.
Yes.
And you're being paid, it's about $5 in terms of when you look at it with other currencies. Yes. And what was the job?
The job basically was opening tenders, doing data entry. Yeah. We were cleaning. Yeah. Just it was all-rounded job. There was no job description for our job, because today you find yourself in the legal department doing their filing. I became very creative when I was there. So the other department, they used to wash cars.
Right.
The procurement office was full of women, and they used to like me, and because I buy them the lunch. If the lunchtime I go pick them lunch to the office.
So they used to give you errands to do?
Yeah.
All right.
So I asked them, can I be washing your cars? So every morning they could come and hand over the keys to me.
Yeah.
I put it in my pocket. At lunchtime I wash one car by one, by 4, and they used to pay me $3 per car. So $3.
So this is on top of your fixed salary, which is $5 a day.
Yes.
Now this is now what you call the spirit of Africa. You see, the thing in Africa here is people, which is very interesting habit, is people always try to look for something on the side to do. They're never satisfied with one revenue source or whatever. So it's simple, we call it hustling or side hustle or whatever you want to call it. So your first side hustle was?
I used to wash cars.
Yes.
For some people, some staff
in that
the permanent employed staff. I used to wash like around 5 cars per day. So your income comes to 1,500 per day, adding on top of
what you're earning per day.
Yes. So the $5 is small, compared to the $15 you're getting.
Correct.
But the $5 is important, is as important as the $15, because if you don't get the $5 job, you won't get the other job. You get the point? So that
critical point, huh?
So I used to make sure that I absorbed, because it was a weekly absorption.
Yeah.
It was not. We were given 6 months, but you do for 3 months, then it is, because in government law, you work for 3 months, you must be employed by the employer. So we used to go 3 months. But now I used to find the ways to get back to the casual jobs. I changed department so that I'm able to be. My aim is to get the $15. $15 I do at the cleaning department.
So that was the ticket to you now getting more hustles in that place. Were you staying in the same area, or?
Yeah, I was still there, because it was just a walking distance to the office. Right. Because I used to cross the railway, then get to the office.
And how long did you do this job for? I mean,
so I did it for 6 months. Because I had 6 months. I think December of that year, that's when I quit. But along the way, one of the things that
why did you quit? By sorry to interrupt.
So along the way, when I used to get my money, because you used to be paid with a Friday, after 10 days you're paid your money. It was $5. That's around 5,000 Kenyan shillings now. 5,000 Gikomba is where they used to sell clothes.
Yeah, second-hand clothes. Yeah.
So I used to go buy, because in Eldoret, me and my friend called Meshach, I had seen him do the business of buying shoes, tops for women. It used to be a very good business. So I used to go and buy doll shoes for women. Women should send me that I want doll shoes. I go buy with my money, get a profit. Then the small child, he wants a good rubber shoes, but he doesn't have that time to go to the market. So I go buy and then come and hawk at the office. Not even hawk, because I was given per order. Yeah.
So you had ready customers?
Yeah, ready customer, because my mother will tell you, my son wants a good canvas. My daughter wants a very good shoes, size this. I need these shoes, I need this jacket. So I used to use now the money that I earn from the $5 to go multiply by buying second-hand clothes and garments, coming to sell to the staff at Kenya Pipeline.
I mean, you can see how. What is very interesting is how someone is evolving, and this is something that we really need to learn, especially anyone or young people or someone who is starting out in life and business, that life is not a quick step. Life is just a matter of really climbing one step at a time. And you can see how Victor, your story is just evolving in a very interesting way, to be honest, because you're going from one step to the other and using that money as a next step.
Yeah. So once I was able to, I realized that's when I got to the power of entrepreneurship, because I could see whatever I'm earning, salary was not enough for me.
Yeah.
But badly that money was not good I was not doing it in a good use, because at that time I was more of playing, gambling. I still have an interest of playing pool, the pool table. So it was really wasting my time. So, but one day I decided, courtesy of my uncle, I got to get the other side of me that I didn't know myself to be. So he took me to the showground. We used to have a business of honey. My uncle used to have a business for honey. So he invited me to the showground to assist him in selling.
So it's kind of a showground is basically a yearly exhibition in Kenya that happens in different cities, and basically different people come to exhibit their products, whether they are farmers or different entrepreneurs or whatever it is. Yeah, so it's something that was started during the colonial times and has kind of carried through right now. So this is exactly. So you're in showground.
Showground. Now he had invited us because he was giving us he was giving us 600 shillings, which was fair. It was a lot of money compared to what we were getting there.
Correct.
So I saw that I'm working, and my uncle has been my inspiration anyway. So I'd gotten a chance to just work with him. So he took me to the showground, and I didn't know about sales, but I was selling honey. So I set up my place, and then I was convincing women, because one of the things I got to know that if once you convince a child, he will buy the product. Once you convince a woman, the husband will buy for the product. So I used that other technique to sell. I really sold. I think I sold around 20,000 shillings.
Wow, that's $200. Yeah.
$200.
Yeah.
So in the evening, uncle took us for lunch and gave me 2,000 shillings.
Wow.
So, apart from the 2,000 shillings, he gave me a word that I appreciate him for that, because he told me, "You're a good salesperson. You should have done sales as a course."
Yeah.
So that was the only first positive person in life to tell me that you're good at something.
Yeah.
So it really inspired me as a person to say, I have this ability, let me explore more. And then that was from there. Around December, I decided to quit, because I found at that time we were looking for a permanent job at Kenya Pipeline, but we were unable to secure. So I decided myself that enough is enough. Let me try something new. Yeah. So I started coming to town, to Nairobi, to the city now.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to conquer the city now.
Concrete jungle.
Yes. The north is enough at the industrial area.
Yeah.
Where
Kenya Pipeline
is around the industrial area, where most manufacturing companies are. The environment there was enough. It is sunny, busy. There's no social life. It is just job.
Yeah.
So I was enough for that. So, but I think at that time, before quitting, I'd gone with my uncle with the same business to Mombasa. My first trip to Mombasa, he paid for my ticket at a Modern Coast somewhere in Gong Road. Yeah. So I did everything. Then luckily, I broke my leg.
Yeah. Oh no.
So in the bus, my leg is painful, but I have products. But I'm happy I'm going to Mombasa for the first time. So I slept in a very good restaurant. Then tomorrow is D-Day. We're going to the exhibition in Mombasa. Yeah. So I'm going to the exhibition in Mombasa. I've set up my place using the script that I've done in Nairobi. Yeah. Now I'm here. Oh, too bad. Yeah. The bees came to the
to the stand.
To the stand. Exhibition over.
Oh no.
My uncle says, now pack, go to Nairobi. I still have some errands to run in Mombasa. Yeah. Me back to Modern Coast, back to the city. But luckily I've got a good experience. I've known Mombasa. It's my first time to be in Mombasa. So I feel I've never experienced it. It opened my mind that I'm now global. I'm no longer that refined young man from Eldoret. Yeah. This is somebody who has done business in Nairobi, is trying to Mombasa. Then came back to Nairobi, we started working with Uncle in terms of his business. I was selling his honey. But along the way I realized, now my friend Meshach, my good friend is called Meshach. We were together in Eldoret. So they came to Nairobi and hey, Koile is in Nairobi. Yeah. They wondered how this guy is in Nairobi. So when he came, I told him, job for me is not the future. The future is in business. So because I'd seen what my uncle was doing, I told him, let's try and do something together, because with him he had practiced the entrepreneur and done it perfectly in Eldoret. So I told him, you can use my network and we can do something together. So we had an idea of logistics. because I used to do suits for my uncle. I used to take his suits to dry clean, deliver it back to him. So he told me that job is called errands.
Okay.
He gave me the word errands.
You didn't even know that word existed before.
Yes. Okay, went to do the research about errand business, found a company called Level 9 Errands. I called it Level 9 Errands. Registered as a business name. So I used to run errands. Then along the way, before registering the company, we asked somebody to register it for us. He told us it's 20,000.
Yeah, it's $200.
$200.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, what is $200? Why go to do this? I went to the cyber cafe. Why am I paying this person 20,000 to register a company? Then I realized there are stages, there's the legal way of registering, and it costs you only $10. This person is getting a profit of
almost $190.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I realized I can do it myself.
Yeah.
I can register it myself.
Yeah.
So I experimented registering my own company. That's how I elevated my errand business now from delivering suits.
Yeah.
From delivering suits.
Yeah.
Now I'm registering companies.
So now you're out of coincidence, and I like your story because one thing that you're gifted and something that we really need to adopt is the aspect of being curious, not accepting the status quo. If you just had accepted that someone is paying you $200, you need to pay someone $200 to register, and not question it, then you would just be in the same status quo and look for money. So now you moved from, you saw there was an opportunity in registering businesses.
Because I went to the company registrar's office, follow the steps. By that time, we used to go reserve a name at the registrar first. It was step by step. So I went to reserve the name, paid I think $1. Then steps until I registered the company. I didn't even include my friend Meshach. I think later I will read that was one of the things affected our friendship, because when I was registering, I thought I was experimenting. I experimented him alone. I should have added him in the experimentation, but I went full circle and registered the company. So from there now, there's a lawyer. I used to come with a train to town.
Oh wow!
Because the cost of matatu was very expensive. So train was very fixed. It used to leave Makarara railway station at 7:40 and be in town by 8 o'clock. So as a startup, you didn't have money to pay. The matatu was 100 shillings, 70.
Correct.
So 40 was affordable for me.
And sometimes even free, because sometimes when I think at that time the railway wasn't very strict, so you could even get in and ride for free.
But for me, I used to come with that. There's an executive one that comes very morning. That comes with the people from Embakasi, Imaradaima, those who are corporate people. So they used to give us newspapers. It was just organized. So along the way, I used to sit with a lawyer friend of mine. Every time I'm boarding to Nairobi, he's a Kale lawyer friend of mine. Then one day I asked him, what do you do? I say, I'm a lawyer. My office is in Corner House. Told him I'll visit your office. Came to his office. I told him I want to do this business. I told him, told me I have a business plan. Let me give you a business plan. He gave me my vast business plan. That guy gave me. He's still my friend today. I went. It used to be Suki Deliveries. I went going through it. I realized there's a process of doing a proposal. That's how I learned how to do a business plan for the business.
Wow.
Then rate how to cost in terms of
different costings and understanding how to cost business.
That's how it shaped me into now thinking like an entrepreneur, not just an hustler in this street.
And so I'm just curious now that you've gone through now. And I don't know how many years ago. What are you currently doing now in terms of now? I know you're doing many businesses. This guy wears like 15 hats.
At that time, my goal was to just get 500 shillings a day. No, in any angle, I get 500 shillings a day. So I was trying to. I used to go sell honey. If there's no honey, just get errands from the wakili. I wanted to learn the city. So I really wanted. I go to Sharia house. Somebody will send me. I go now preach near to somebody. I can register your company.
Wow.
People give me business. That's how I started.
So now this is errands and different things.
Yes. I've moved from now working in pipeline. I think I am scaling down my working with my uncle because I wanted to become my own person now.
Correct.
Because he was supporting me. Thanks to him for sure. At that period, you could pay my rent.
Yeah.
You could call me and give me 1,000 shillings to survive.
Yeah.
So he was somebody. He was really aiding my growth.
Yeah.
In terms of.
So for now you're running. Of course, there's the errands business.
Yes.
Still running.
Yes.
What else are you doing now? Which is, and I always say, anyone who comes here, it's very important that I tell what they do, because these are people that are really doing things in this city, and and people that you can support in many ways or the other, because they embody the true spirit of really their hard work, to be honest. And I always use it as as a platform as well to talk about their business. So you said now you have an errands business called
Level 9 Errands.
Level 9 Errands. Yes. So you have motorbikes and you do all this?
At that time, I didn't have any motorbike.
Yeah.
I used to do now the legal part of it.
Correct.
From that person who asked me for 20,000, so I'm doing his business.
So now you're doing registering and errands, so running errands in government offices, yes. Registering companies.
So at that time I realized there's a gap in the registration of companies.
Correct.
And also people were very difficult in getting their birth certificates.
Yes.
Of their children. And also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has a department whereby if you are leaving this country, your document must be certified by the Foreign Affairs. So correct, I used to go to get certified documents for people. So it was just an errand business.
I mean, typically in Africa, that is the biggest problem, is that government bureaucracy is difficult. Yes. So you definitely need errands people who know how to maneuver so that you can be able to get whatever you want to get in government offices. So
at that time, and then I didn't talk about it because I had a business in Eldoret of PlayStation.
PlayStation.
So at that time PS4 had come to Africa.
Yeah.
It had launched.
Yeah.
And my aunt lives in the US.
Yeah.
I still have the proposal. I did an email using the document that Wakil had given me. Yeah. Now break down how I would want my business to after the costing of it.
Wow.
So the costing was around 85,000 shillings.
Yeah, $850.
Yes, 85,000 shillings. She sent me the PlayStation and gave me 30,000 to buy a television.
Wow.
I started a PlayStation in where I used to stay.
Yeah.
It used to be called Slick Entertainment. The shop still exists after today. So I have this business, but now along the way rent was becoming difficult.
Yeah.
To sell off the PlayStation, because we used to stay with my cousin. We could go for 6 months not paying rent because we don't have income. So one day I decided because I was tired asking my aunt, Correct. I wanted now to at least I sold off, pay the debt, and I moved to Ruaka. You know Ruaka, near try to become my own person.
Correct.
But life became difficult. I came back to where I used to stay. But basically at that time, I'm running errands in the city and going home. I come in the morning to town, look for business, and 500 shillings to 1,000 shillings, go home.
Right now, what businesses are you doing?
Currently, I run a business called Zigo.
Correct.
Zigo is a delivery company.
You can find them online, for sure.
So, and also still run the errand business. Correct. I do the errand business under Level 9 Errands. So I work with the diaspora clients, anybody in Australia, US, Canada, Kenyan living abroad. I always try and help them in the errands locally here now.
So and this is quite important, so anyone in the diaspora who is really watching this and who requires, and I know there's so many things sometimes you want to do here, whether it's to renew
your
passports or paperwork that needs to move from government to government, you can always look for Level 9 Errands or Zigo. I have used them personally as well, so I use them a lot in most of my businesses. So Victor is someone I think who is very straightforward and honest. I think you can work with. What else you do?
So currently I partner with a friend. Yes. We intend to do a wood business together.
Yes.
The wood business.
African mentality, you see? Workshop.
Want to build
kind of a wood workshop.
Yeah. My partner now, Meshach, has an interest in the business of wood. Okay. I intended to build his hustle, his passion, so that we can complement each other. Because my interest is to go into logistics business, but as much as I would want to go exploit my idea, because the logistics business has been my idea. I would want to build his passion so that when we grow, I would take up the idea of Zigo to be the main person.
And I think that's one thing that when listening to your story, which is very important, is just being able to grow together. You don't leave your friends behind.
Very true.
Kind of operate this mentality of no man left behind. Because you can see Meshach is someone you have come in and you're actually being selfless by also trying to work together and build his business so that you can grow together, right?
Yeah.
And it's something we need to, if you really don't, one thing I've always believed is you can't grow alone. You can't be the only tree in the savannah and the rest of the people are just grass. So it's something that Victor is really just pushing here. Before really, can talk forever, but it's very important. Just give me, out of all these things, give me 3 biggest mistakes that you have done, you have learned so far, and it's something that you want to tell people. If you're doing hustles or whatever it is, just avoid these pitfalls.
One of the things I would highlight as a person, that going through this phase, I used to stay with my cousin. He had done criminology as a course in university. I had just finished my diploma in stores and supplies management. But one of the things I really picked at skill is one of the things that, as a young person, if you're still 23, 22, 21, or 18, focus on education, because I think I would have gone so far in terms of business if in my youth age I would have concentrated on education, because I thank God whatever I'm doing is paying me, but the most important is I had the potential to be bigger than who I am. But I normally say it's not a problem, but let me be a vessel to teach people that. Please, if you're still 18, 17, 16, 22, 23, your time to gain a skill through education. Because through education you are able to, when you come to the world of working and business, the world of job, the job market needs, the 21st century needs a skill to be the education of, even if you do carpentry, because carpentry it's neglected as a very useless course in Africa. People would advocate to do criminology but try and get a skill. So because of people with skill in this city, I've seen having money. But on an individual basis, the biggest mistake I can say is the biggest mistake is handling money. As in, the biggest problem in business is accounting, as in being accountable of what you earn. Because one of the things I realized, I didn't make steps in personal growth, because I used to get money, but go to nice places, because luckily I don't drink myself, so I used to eat good restaurants, dress very expensive, but gamble. I realized money management is something as an entrepreneur you should learn. You should learn as well.
And the final one, I don't know if you have any other.
My final would be in terms of final.
No, so you've said of course money management,
and discipline. Discipline is I would say it's one factor to success, because if you're not self-disciplined in the first place, because luckily when I was young, I was interested to waking up and going to work, but I didn't want to work in an office. But in my head, so I used to wake up even 5 to just dream of going to work. So when I started hustling, I used to be in town by 8 o'clock. I have nothing to do, but I'm in town at 8 o'clock. So everybody, when somebody open his office, I will be there. Hi, is there any errands today?
Correct.
So self-discipline is something you should learn.
And I think, listening to Victor's story really sort of takes me back to where I started working in a company and then moving out into business, and all these stories, talking to different people, have different sort of lessons that we can pick, and I feel like and this is the main sort of agenda for this channel, Upside Down, is really to talk about the reality of life, because most of the times people tend to sort of paint the rosy side of life, and there's always that part that we don't talk about so much. And one of the things that I really want to come out of this channel is people to talk more about their failures, people to talk about how they really took step by step in life, and that's why I will continue, and I sort of want you guys to give me your comments, give me people that you want me to talk to as well, because at the end of the day, Africa benefits, the whole world benefits from listening to failures of people. Sometimes we listen to too much successes of what people are doing rather than their failures. Then we end up repeating the same mistakes that were being done in the 60s, 70s, 10th century or whatever it is. And that's what we want to sort of move on from. So the lessons that we pick from Victor today and from other people, it's where we can sort of implement them. And so, yeah, so I'm just really happy for having this time to talk to Victor. He's one of those. I mean, by the way, really, you can go and I'll put his contacts on the channel as well. You can, if you really have errands or kind of different things, Victor is kind of a very resourceful person to run around with. So yeah, till next time, I mean, you guys, you can subscribe as well and tell your friends and tell your father, your mother, your grandmother, whatever it is. I'm just happy, and it's something I'm doing out of passion, to really actually just something I do out of my side to talk about different stories. So till next time, catch you later. Thanks a lot. Good stuff.